welcome to T is for Transformation. I'm your host, Shaun T. I have a question for you. You know how when you go on Uber, order some food, you go to Amazon Prime, you want to FaceTime somebody and you can talk to them right away. Everything happens so quick in this world. I mean, you can literally get wherever you want. Like within 30 minutes, you can get a whole slew of groceries that would normally take you about 2 hours to get because everything is at the tip of our fingertips, literally. And today, we're diving into a topic that's vital for all of us to understand. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, it's common to see fitness through a narrow lens, reducing it to just weight loss or striving for that lean look. But let me tell you, real fitness, it's about more than the number on the scale or the reflection in the mirror. Every day, I see people pouring their hearts into their workouts, chasing that magic number that they believe equals success. But when they don't see these digits drop as fast as they'd hoped, frustration sets in and suddenly they're ready to throw in the towel or jump to the next big thing. It's a cycle that can leave you feeling absolutely defeated. I'm not standing here claiming that it's easy to break free from the social pressures, but I have to tell you, I've also been there myself. My journey started with me losing 50 pounds, and my journey with food wasn't always the healthiest. I struggled, and there were times that I thought I'd never find peace or balance, especially inner peace. But through patience, understanding, and a whole lot of self-love, which you all know I talk about daily, I've managed to transform my relationship with food. It wasn't about restricting or punishing myself, but about learning to nourish it with what it truly needs and appreciating food as fuel, not just a source of comfort or a means to an end. Today, my guest knows all about this journey to peace within and chasing the number on the scale. There were points in her life where chasing the number on the scale truly damaged her, both mentally and physically, until she realized there was a better way. Let's hear from Cragun.
When I went on my initial weight loss journey 7 years ago, I had found out that my local gym does a weight loss challenge. And so with the help of my personal trainer, I actually lost 150 pounds in 6 months exactly to the day. I became absolutely obsessed with that number. And what that did was when I had to take a little bit of time off because I got sick or because I was injured, and I got back on the scale afterwards and I saw a higher number, that completely messed with my mental health. When I was back to my highest, I had gained almost all of that weight back. And that was when I was able to get to be part of this test group for Shaun T's Dig Deeper. And that showed me to just trust the process. And that's what I'm sticking to. And I will never go back to focusing on that number on the scale, because that's not what matters. Shaun T is absolutely one of the most amazing and motivational people. And he was talking about how much he was struggling and how much he was on his journey, and he even broke down. And I took that and I needed that in that moment, and that propelled me forward.
Glenn, welcome to the show.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm feeling wonderful. You want to know why I'm really excited to talk to you? Because for so long, I've been trying to get this message out to people that chasing the number on the scale, trying to get it fast, like Uber Eats or Amazon Prime, it's not going to work for everyone. And I don't like saying that it's never going to work, because for some people, it actually might work. But for you, you were at a corporate job, you joined a gym, you joined a Biggest Loser type challenge at the gym. Tell me about the journey so you can help people understand that the fast route is not always the best route.
I worked at a bank. I was in banking for about 10 years. I was the person that searched weight loss challenge when I decided I wanted to make a difference in my life. And I joined the weight loss challenge at the local gym that I was a member of. And it's a 12-week challenge. And whoever loses the highest percentage of their body weight wins, and they win a couple $1,000s. In my first 12-week challenge, I lost 90 pounds.
Let's stop there for a second. 90 pounds in 12 weeks is 3 months.
Yes.
Tell me the process of you losing 90 pounds in 3 months.
I was only eating 1,200 calories a day.
Okay.
And I was going to the gym for roughly 6 to 7 hours every day.
Okay.
And we had a heart rate monitor that would track our calorie burn and where our heart rate was. And I actually would not leave the gym until I burned exactly the amount of calories that I ate for the day. Then when I was living everyday life, that was my excess calories that I was burning. So that allowed me to be able to lose all the weight in such a short amount of time.
What was the motivating factor? And the reason why I asked you that question is because there are people out there that's like, when New Year's resolutions or things like that come about, they work out for like 2 or 3 days and they're like, oh, I'm going to throw in the towel. I'm done. Maybe they get 2 weeks in and then life takes over. What was the motivation for you to continue to push forward for these 3 months?
I thought that losing the weight, I was going to be happy. It was going to fix all my problems. And it got to the point where I then signed up for the second challenge right after that. And it started a couple days after. And I upped my weight loss for the next 3 months. So I lost a total of 150 pounds in 6 months exactly to the day.
How happy were you going through this process?
I was miserable because I would get on the scale at night. And if I didn't like the number, I would go work out. I would go for a run. I'd go for a walk. And then I'd get on the scale again and again until I saw the number I wanted. Then I would go to sleep at night.
And just a fact for people to understand, when you weigh yourself at night, you're 100% going to be heavier, much heavier than you were in the morning, sometimes 5, 7, sometimes up to 8 pounds. If you literally drink 8 glasses of water a day or 1.5 gallons of water a day, like some people do, if you eat all of your meals, the day, bloating, food, maybe you didn't go to the bathroom, your weight is going to get heavier as the day goes on. I know you obviously know that, but I'm just trying to help people understand that at the end of the day, trying to lose the weight that you gain throughout the day, that's natural. What kind of headspace did that put you in?
That put me in a spiraling headspace to where if I didn't hit that number on that day, then the next day I would beat myself up mentally about it. And I would say, I have to push even harder today. And then it would just go and go and go. And it was just a never ending cycle that I found myself in. It definitely did not cure happiness and I was miserable.
And so these 2 different challenges, did you win them both?
I did.
And what was the reward?
It was $2,500 per challenge.
So you were on a corporate job and then you left the corporate job to
be a manager at the gym.
And tell me about life as a manager at the gym.
When I lost all that weight, I became that poster child for the gym. And so they offered me a management position and I went into it and I, started working 40 hours a week. They told me I was going to become a partner with the company if I worked hard enough. And it became no work-life balance, made every excuse to not work out. And I ended up gaining all but 20 pounds of it back.
How quick or slow did you gain the weight back?
Within the first year and a half.
I know at the end of that, you were like, I won $2,500. I was miserable throughout the process. Now talk about the process of slowly gaining the weight back. What was your emotions, your feelings? What were some of the things you were saying to yourself as you started to see your body change back into the body that was before?
I would look at myself in the mirror and I was the most unhappiest person, and it led to depression. And then I would go and find comfort in food. And then I just slowly started, seeing the weight come back on. And then one day I looked in the mirror and I was getting ready for work and I was the most unhappiest person. And then, I considered taking my own life that day. And that really is what made me reach out for help. I'm not somebody that asks for help very easily. Yeah. And I went to my manager, the owner of the gym, and I asked for help. And he told me to just focus on my job, become a partner in the company, and that's what matters.
Let's go back a little bit. and talk about food, because we can talk about fitness and, you talked about burning the calories with the heart rate monitor on. I know how to do that. And you say you were on 1,200 calories, a day as you were losing the weight. When you were gaining the weight, what was the thing that made you not stick to that nutrition plan?
I am a sugar lover. I love sugar. And so when I was finding myself very unhappy, I secluded myself from my friends and from my family. And I just found comfort in the food again. And I just went back to all of the bad habits. I threw away all of the good habits, the few good habits that I did learn from the challenge, to monitoring how much you're eating, tracking your food, everything like that. I threw that away because I was just unhappy with myself. And then it kept spiraling once I saw the weight coming back on. Then it was just a never-ending cycle that I found myself in.
The reason why I ask a lot of these questions and I keep asking about the different processes that you're feeling, especially emotionally throughout this, is, I have a really hard time helping people understand that in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or situational exercise, say, I have a wedding to go to, or it's my wedding, and people get to this goal weight of their wedding, but it's not sustainable because they weren't living an authentic way of getting there and really learning and being able to hold on to the things that they learned as they went through the process. When it comes to situational exercise, which you did, Biggest Loser type style things, like what would you tell someone who's like literally entering a competition where they're going to be paid money to lose weight?
The money is absolutely not worth it, because weight loss and living a healthy lifestyle, it's a journey. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and you want to be able to create those habits to where you can live that way for the rest of your life. And that's what's important, to just press play every day and track your food. Make sure, have that cheat meal. If you want a donut, have a donut.
Well, I do. I do.
And that's okay. But then you get right back on it. Don't allow one day, one slip up in food to derail your entire process and to derail your journey.
It's easy to say sometimes when you're on the other side of that, right? Like, it's like you can say that now, but let's talk about the flip side. You gained all but 20 pounds back. What was the driving force for you to say, I'm going to change? And what did you do differently the next time around?
I sat down with, he was then my fiance, and, he knew how unhappy that I was.
Let's talk about your fiance. How'd you meet him?
At the gym.
Oh, tell me more about that. I want the details.
I had a friend come in, and he said that he had a friend from his childhood that he wanted to have try out the gym. And we had a pass. And so he brought him in, and I gave him his pass. And I thought, man, he is cute.
Yes, I want the real talk right here. Let's go.
And then I waited a little bit, and then he actually joined the gym. I signed him up for his membership. And then I, slid into his DMs a little bit.
You had his number. Why didn't you just text him?
Because that's against the rules.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's move back into the fitness, the mindset. So you start to change the way you go about fitness. Tell me more about that.
I made the difficult decision because of how unhappy I was that I was going to leave my job and make that difficult decision where, yes, it's going to be a money cut, but is my life and my happiness and my health worth more than the money? And to me, it was. And so in May of last year, I left my job of 6 years. And I decided, okay, let's do this. I can become a better version of myself, and I can make myself a priority again.
Tell me about how you started to change the process.
I was scrolling through Facebook one day, and you actually posted to go ahead and apply to be in your test group for your new workout program. And I was like, maybe this is it. Like, maybe this is something that I could do. I went ahead and applied for it, and I thought there was no way that somebody like me could, make it in that test group. And actually on my wedding day is when I had my interview for it. And I got done with the interview, and I said, okay, I think I could do this. I think I might be able to get it.
Yeah.
And then a couple weeks later, I actually got the email that said, okay, you're part of it. And then I was like, okay, it's really happening. And during the entire test group process, it was all about the journey. There was no cardio, so there was no in the gym for 6 hours a day. It was really, truly learning how to live that healthy lifestyle and pushing play every single day and not killing your body while you're doing it.
What I really try to help people understand, and I was able to do it with Dig Deeper, the test group that you were a part of, is one, try not to lose weight really, really fast. And I'm sure you still saw people, that's what their main focus was. Like, I only lost 1 pound this week. And when people say, I only lost X amount of pounds this week, I know that their mindset is, I want to lose weight as fast as possible, not understanding that the process and getting stronger and building muscle is going to be the long-term positive effect. And there's something that happened with you throughout the test group. Tell people about your actual push-up journey.
I could not even do a push-up. It was the worst exercise for me to even attempt to do. Even on my knees, I struggled. I just kept trying to do it. And because I was pressing play every day, I never missed one of my workouts in the test group. And because I wanted to be an example of what this can do for somebody that's overweight, I didn't go into it very fit. And I actually can now do 10 push-ups, which I am proud of myself.
I think you could probably do 20, but that's just, me talking.
I can try.
So, now you're in this place of like, you went through the test group. To be quite honest, I care what your results are, meaning I care about the progress you made, but it's not something I want you to share today, because I think oftentimes, people either look at the number, they look at the scale, they'll look at the before and after, which we celebrate, and I think we should, but I think your message is so powerful because it's not about that. It's about really inspiring people to just push forward. So when you compare how you're going through your fitness now as compared to the 150-pound weight loss, what are some of the key differences? I don't know what you look like before. I actually don't even care how much weight you're down or up, but I just want to know what the key differences are in your mindset and your fitness and your strength.
I have been able to transform my mind and my body at the same time. Ever since I joined the test group, I learned that it's all about a journey. You work out every day and you're going to see the difference. It's not going to be an overnight. You're not going to lose 5 pounds every single week that you go and work out. And there was even a time at, a couple weeks into the test group where I was feeling very down because I was the most out of shape person that was selected. And
I have a question for you. How do you know?
Because we were all in a Facebook group. And
but how do you know you were the most out of shape one? What were you basing that off of?
The fact I hadn't worked out in 4 years.
The reason why I say that is because out of shape, maybe you felt physically.
Yeah.
However, mentally, you're very strong. So I just wanted to tell you that. I just wanted to give you that. So if you go into another group or if you're going to get into another situation, don't automatically put yourself at the bottom of the barrel, because the process and progress that you made, you were ready to actually show these people how the fuck it's done. Okay, so anyway, go ahead. I just wanted to tell you that, give you that inspiration for when you walk into the next room, like you got this, but go ahead.
Thank you. The journey for me is making it a lifestyle change now that is going to go for the rest of my life, where if I want to have a cheat meal, I can have a cheat meal and it's okay. And I'm to the point where I can do that and it doesn't derail my mindset for the rest of the week. And I still work out every single day, whether it's going for a walk on my day off from being able to do Dig Deeper. It's, moving your body. And it's okay to move your body the most that you can. Plus, if you don't feel strong one day, say you were lifting 30 pounds one day and the next week you don't feel as strong, so you can't lift as heavy, it's okay. You need to listen to your body and listen to, what your body is telling you along on your journey.
Yeah, and focus on the consistency. One of the things that I think is really profound, and I want people to understand, especially when it comes to lifting weights, or actually any workout, oftentimes you can wake up feeling different. One day you might be in the best mood, you may have gotten a lot of sleep, had really great food a couple days before where you have the energy. The next time you may have gotten into a disagreement with your spouse or your kids, you may not have slept, your food may have not been on par. But it's about getting up and doing the best you can do on that day with that energy. And I just think that that's like vital and key to push forward. You have this race that you're about to go on.
Yes.
I know you said you have about 50 pounds to go before you run the race, right? To lose.
Yes.
Why do you feel like you need to lose that 50?
Because I want to be able to feel the best that I can while I'm running that race. It's an over 7-mile run, and people come from all over the world to
Yes.
Spokane, Washington to run Bloomsday. My mom, me, and my husband are all going to be doing it together. And I also know my husband is going to run that thing. So I got to keep up with him.
This is the Olympics.
Yep.
I want you to do me a favor though.
Okay.
When you this is a really tough challenge.
Okay.
When you get down 35 pounds,
Okay.
I want you to run that 7 miles.
Okay.
Before the race.
Okay.
Because I want you to see, like, the goal, great, like lose 50 pounds. You know, you're doing Dig Deeper, you're lifting weights. I promise you're gonna be like, oh, I'm much stronger in this zone than I really feel. And the reason why I'm emphasizing that is because of your message and because of what you share to people. I know you have your number 50 pounds, but I want people to understand that the number on the scale is so much different than drive and energy and the consistency that you made to get stronger, you know, which goes into your reward. This time your reward is running a race, beating your husband, Kenneth. She's gonna come for you. But before, the reward was money. Can you talk about, is the risk worth the reward?
Absolutely. I would say for somebody that is even thinking about joining a Biggest Loser challenge or any weight loss challenge for money, it's not worth it. Do it for you, don't do it for the money. Because at the end of the day, the money could go away. Mm-hmm. But you still have to live your life every single day and look in the mirror and be proud of who you are and be proud of who's looking back at you.
And you know, there are things out there where people are like, if you lose X amount of pounds, like you'll get your money back. You have to understand that that's a ploy just to get you to actually join this thing. But people who really care about you are gonna say, I'm gonna reward you after a year of sticking to this and logging in, you know, 100 out of 365 workouts, because that is 1/3 of the year that you weren't doing before. And when you get into that mindset, people start to look and they start to open up and they start to feel exactly what it is you're going through and not feeling overwhelmed. The other thing that is really important and vital in the process of losing weight, gaining weight, is a vital support system. So tell me how your husband has been a huge part of your support.
My husband is by far my biggest fan. He goes in the gym with me. We have a gym in our garage. He goes in the gym with me every single morning. And he's like, okay, you gonna work out now? Let's go. So he's always been very big into working out, having him be there along with me as well. Even if he sees that I'm doing an exercise that's not 100% accurate, he'll tell me, okay, bend over just a little bit more when you pull up with the weight. You know, he'll help me.
He's trying to take my job. This is like, come on, Kenneth. He's trying to take my job. Let me have this, okay? I think that's amazing support. You know, when you were actually going for the Dig Deeper test group and you were like, why me? And he said, what if you're the person that can change one person's life and have them decide to become healthier and get on their own personal journey? Yes. So why you? That's why you. Any final motivational words to people out there who may be going through that process of what I like to call the thin line between love and hate section, which is like, I really know that I can do this and I can lose the weight, but I hate it because of what I just did, but I have to change a little bit of my focus and slow down a little bit so this becomes longevity. What kind of words of inspiration do you have for them?
Trust the process. It's a journey. It's not a sprint. Surround yourself with the right people that are going to motivate you and keep you accountable and motivated to continue on your journey, and make your goals small and obtainable. Don't push for the extreme goals that are going to mess with, your mental health, emotional health, as well as physical health, because it is not worth it at the end of the day. Just keep pressing play.
I'm really happy for people to be able to hear it from someone who has gained the weight, lost the weight, gained the weight, and now you're in a path of like fully understanding, because sometimes people look at me, they're like, well, of course you're a fitness professional, but it's people like you that really move the needle for people to say, okay, if she can do it, I can do it too. And that's what Tears for Transformation is about. It's about finding other people like you to help push you forward, because while I love to be that motivation for you, I'm not the only one. You are the people that's out there that are an extension of me to help move forward. And Glenn, thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
That life that your husband said you're going to change a lot more than one, I should say, today. And we will be right back with some teachable moments. All right, let's dive into a part of our conversation today that really strikes a chord with anyone looking to transform their life through fitness. Glenn's story is a powerful testament to what we're about to unpack. The real talk on sustainable weight loss versus the quick fixes that promise the moon, but often leaves us in a lost space. First up, let's tackle a truth that might be hard to swallow when it comes to rapid weight loss. It's tempting, right? You want the weight gone quick. You'll do anything in your power to do it, but it's not all good that way. Those dramatic before and after shots, the idea of shedding all the pounds in just a few weeks, it sounds fun. Rushing weight loss can actually set us back more than it moves us forward. And you know I'm all about moving forward even in times of struggle. This will lead to muscle loss, a slower metabolism, and the dreaded bounce back effect. And that is where the weight just comes back on. A study in the Journal of Obesity puts it in black and white for us, showing that those who take a slower, steady route tend to keep the weight off longer. And those of you who listen to me all the time, I'm telling you, time is your best friend when it comes to weight loss and sustainable weight loss. So here's the difference. It's not just about getting to your goal. It's about setting up camp and staying there. Now on to something that Glenn and frankly all of us need to embrace: the role of time in our fitness journeys. Like I just said, if there's one thing I want you to take away, it's that consistency is key. And once again, time is your best friend. It's not just about going hard for a few weeks and burning out, but making health and fitness a part of your daily life for life. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine backs this up, showing us that it's the long haul that brings us the real rewards, not the sprint. So what does this all mean for you at home? It means giving yourself grace and space to grow, to heal, and to transform at a pace that's sustainable. Glenn's journey reminds us that while the path might have twists and turns, with patience and perseverance, we can and we will reach our destination. And remember, it's not about the weight. It's about shedding the baggage that weighs us down and going for it one step at a time and never giving up. A special thanks to Glenn and all of you out there who want to be a part of this important conversation. And remember, don't chase a number on the scale, chase the transformation that's going to make you feel great.